Welcome everybody to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage. Today we're going to be having a look at XRP. This is going to be a lower time frame video. We do have our higher time frame video which we did today, so check that out if that's more what you're interested in. Let's get into the charts and see what's going on. Okay, so we're going to go over the bullish idea here and a couple of ways that we can look at this and see how this could be looking to actually become a bigger impulse here to the upside. So within our bullish count, what we are arguing is that from further back here we have a series of ones and twos. And effectively, we have hit this 1618 of this blue wave count. So this is all fine and well. The problem is within this, I would like to see an additional fourth and a fifth here for more confirmation. So what we are talking about here is we have come up within this count. If we want to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into this high, looking at this as a wave 2, effectively, we've come up into this 2.618 area. Now, what I want to see here, if this is the case, is we need to see an additional fourth wave. Now, the thing is, within this count, this fourth wave would need to have a time relationship that is similar to this wave 2 here. So what I would want to see is this zone here of the 65 cent 293 hold, and then we would be looking for this possibility of this fifth wave to the upside. Now, it is possible within this count that we could also be looking to extend to the upside. If we do look to continue to extend up, my next place I would be looking as a potential target for this wave 3 would be possibly up towards this zone of this $1.29. Now, if we do continue to hold this level, potentially we could look for this fifth wave to the upside, in which case this target would have changed slightly from where we've come down to now. Currently, our target would be between this $1.11 to this $1.01. The problem is, like I said, I'd like to see something a bit more substantial here. If we start to break down and we start to lose the 65.29, what this could mean is that either we're going to get this as an additional 1, 2, and then we look to push up, or alternatively, this is just a corrective structure. So this is going to be very important here. This bullish count is relying on holding this 41 cents. If we do lose that level, then this would effectively be invalidated. Now, this fifth wave to the upside would be invalidated by actually crossing this level here of this 54 cents 677. If we do move down past this level, this fifth wave would then be invalidated. So we need to be careful of that primarily, and then also this low. If we lose this low, this bullish case starts to fall apart. So the thing that we'd want to see here is we want to see this 5-wave move continue up here, and then we would be looking for the additional fourths and fifths to actually play out after this. So if we did get this move up here into this target box, effectively what we'd then be looking for is the previous fourth waves to hold as price moves up again, looking to continue this move in a bigger 5-wave structure. And then once we had a completed 5-wave move, we'd be looking for that 3-wave move back to the downside, potentially for a bigger wave 1 to actually to play out. So that's what we're looking for within this idea here. Now, the other thing that we could actually see playing out here, now this is a different way of looking at this, is we could argue that this is a diagonal pattern here. Now, if we look at this from further back, we could argue that this is 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 into this point here. Now, the problem that I have with this is it is fine, but this wave 2 would have been very short, which is also okay. But what we'd need to see here for actually a confirmation of this as a 1 and 2 would actually be a move up towards this $1.43. If we're going to look at this whole move as a diagonal pattern here, and then effectively saying that, you know, what we're looking for is this 1618 for this wave 3. And at the moment, all we've done is come up to this 1-to-1. So this is why I'm just being very careful. You know, there is a big time difference between these waves, so there is always the potential that this could be 1-2, we get 1-2, and then we start to continue to push up. That's what I'm saying. As long as we hold these lows, we do potentially have a bullish count here. But I'm just also being mindful of the fact that we've rejected at this 1-to-1. Now what we need to see is good structure come in if we're going to see this actually look to play out in this way. Alternatively, like I said, we could have this series of 1s and 2s from here, and actually what happens is our corrective move actually ends into this higher low over here. So this is what we want to see with this count. We're going to go into the smaller degree counts now. Effectively, within this idea where this is a diagonal, we need to hit this $1.43. Within the other idea that we just discussed, what we need to just see is this fourth wave and fifth wave actually develop here for more clarity that this is what we're getting. Now, if we actually come in here, now we're actually going to go down onto the 30-minute time frame here, and we're going to come right in on this. Now, there's a couple of ways we can look at this move. Now, the thing that I don't like is we don't have a clear 5 wave move here either. You know, we could still be looking to extend out, and this could be a 4th wave, or alternatively this whole move could potentially be completed within it, but it is very difficult to count this as a completed 5 wave move, because what I would like to see is another push to the upside for that to be confirmed here. So if we do turn this on now, what I'm looking for within this structure here is that potentially this could be 1, 2, this is our 3rd wave here. Now looking at this as a 4th, what we'd want to see is a 5th wave to the upside. So we have held this target box so far, the 73.35. If we start to lose this zone, it becomes less likely that this is going to be a 4th wave here. Now, if we do continue to hold this and we do form something like a triangle here, where this is effectively A, B, C, D, and then E. Now, invalidation of this as a triangle would come by crossing this 82 cents and this 72 cents 42. If we do move down below this A wave, then it would be less likely that this is going to actually be what we have going on here. Now, if we are looking at this as an E wave, what I would like to see here is that effectively we don't move too deep past this C wave. So I'd like, even if we break this C wave low, it's fine, but I would like to just see a wick of this and then that reversal up, and then we'd want to see a good 5 wave structure to the upside. So that's what we want to see here if this is a triangle. The thing we need to be careful of is this could also be something like this as a bigger A, B, and a C, and we see this move come down one more time here, looking to potentially retest these lows, but I wouldn't really want to see us move down any deeper than this if we're looking for this 5th wave idea. Invalidation of this idea comes by crossing the 64.38. If we do move below that, that invalidates this idea of this 4th and this 5th wave. And then the only other way that we could potentially look at this move is that if we are looking at this as a completed move into this high, even though it would be very difficult to count it in this way, what we could then have is that this could be a wave 1 here, looking for wave 2, in which case potentially this triangle is the other way around, where this is actually just an A wave, get A, B, C, D, E, and then we look for a break to the downside. Now the interesting thing here is the 1-to-1 of this currently is sitting at the 61.44, which would actually bring us right back into the 0.618 level here at the 61.72 to this 60.37 would be our golden pocket. So if we do see price move down into these levels, then potentially this could align with the idea that this could be a 1-2. Now the thing is, within this, what this would be saying then is that we could either be looking at this just as A, B, and C if we get a 1-to-1 move up towards this $1.23. Alternatively, if we want to argue that we're looking for an impulse, what I'd like to see ideally here is that this whole move becomes 1, 2, this becomes 3, 4, and 5. Now, if we did something like this, effectively what this would mean is that this whole structure here is actually looking to extend out. And what this would mean is that effectively after this point that we complete this yellow 5 wave move here, we would then have those additional 4ths and 5ths to come, where we would say that this 3rd wave is actually going to be much higher up here. So it would mean that this becomes 1, 2, all of this becomes 3, we'd then look for that 4th and that 5th, and then we'd be looking for those additional 4ths and 5ths. So that's how we'd want to see this actually play out if we're looking for a bigger push to the upside and a bigger impulse here. So if we do look to move down into these lows, then potentially we could argue that this is looking for a wave 2. But if we start to lose this 54.93, it starts to become less likely, and effectively invalidation comes by crossing 47.32. So we need to just be careful of that idea that this could still just be corrective to the upside. If we fail to continue to hold these higher levels here, we just need to be very careful, because this whole structure here could still be part of our alternate count here, where this is just a bigger A wave here. We get a 3 wave move to the upside here, and then effectively what we do is we still drop down for this C wave. So the C wave minimum requirement would actually be here at this 618, at this 28.41, and then the C wave 1-to-1 would still be lower down here. Now it is also possible that even if we do have this just as a bigger corrective structure to the upside here, where this becomes A, we could look to find support in this green support box here between this level here of this 60 cents and this 37 cents 56, where we just see this actually become A, B, and then we see C if we're going to have a bigger corrective structure to the upside. But I wouldn't really want to see us lose these lows here now. Like I said, this low over here where the beginning of this move, this 46,620, if we lose that zone, it becomes very difficult then to to look at this as a impulsive structure, and it becomes much more likely that, you know, if we come down to these levels, there's going to be a lot of liquidity in this zone that we could actually look to grab. Okay, so having a look at the daily CPR, what we can see here is that we are currently holding this support zone here with these central lines, which is between the 78 cents and this lower range here of the 70 cents 89. If we did see another move to the downside here and we held this lower line, this would still align with that idea of that fourth and that fifth wave to the upside. So we would still be all right with that idea if we do see a push down here, but we hold these lines. If we do look to, however, push to the upside and potentially we're starting to build something like this as a 5-wave structure, this aligns with the idea of actually having our fifth wave in this area, this $1.01. This aligns perfectly with this daily CPR line here on this S1. Now, if we do look for higher targets, we have this 122 for today, 149, and this 170. We don't have to hit these targets. These are just potential pivot points within the market. However, if we do look to move to the downside here, this 54 cents is going to be our S1 line as a possible target. And then what we have is our S2 line is down here at this 26.69. S3 is all the way down here towards 6 cents. Now, we don't always have to interact with these targets, so we just need to be aware that, you know, these are just possible pivot points within the market. Now, having a look at the weekly pivot points, what we can see here is we've met all the requirements for these to the upside. What I would be looking for is if we do actually move back down here, potentially to find support in this 47.53 to this 46 cent range as a possible retest of these lines. Now, moving over here and having a look at the monthly, we have also met all the requirements for these. So what I'm looking out for here is that if we do see price come back down into some of these levels, these S lines could potentially be support here. So we have 65.77, we have this 61 cents, this 54.122, and then we also have these central lines here towards this 50 cent 740, this 49 cent area, and this 48.45. Now, if we do look for downside targets for this month, we still have this 42.64, we have this 38 cent range, and this 31 cent as possible targets to the downside should we start to lose these central lines. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to the Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. Everyone, have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.